Season 1. Divine Message is not created to entertain you. It is written to awaken you to something timeless, something you have always felt but never heard. Spoken out loud, this message is for the one who feels unseen, unheard, and forgotten by the world, yet continues to move forward silently every single day. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not lost for questioning your direction. You are not late because your journey does not follow ordinary clocks. You were never meant to live an ordinary life, and that is why your path feels heavier, slower, and lonelier than others. The silence you are experiencing right now is not absence. It is alignment when the divine grows you. It removes noise before it reveals purpose. Because growth needs stillness before power. You may think nothing is happening, but everything is happening beneath the surface. Just like roots grow underground before a tree ever shows its strength. The pressure you feel is not meant to break you. It is meant to shape you. Only chosen paths demand uncommon endurance. Only prepared souls face repeated tests without explanation. Your struggle is different because your assignment is different. You were not built for shortcuts. You were built for depth. You were not designed for instant rewards. You were designed for lasting impact. Every delay you faced redirected you, every rejection refined you, and every loss removed what could not go where you're going. You think you missed opportunities, but in truth, you were protected from outcomes you were not ready to handle. Yet what feels like inconsistency in life is actually precision timing. When the divine is silent, it is because it is working in ways your current awareness cannot yet comprehend. Understand this clearly. Nothing detached from you by force was meant to stay. Nothing that fought to leave was meant to remain. And nothing that remains with you through chaos is accidental. Not everyone you meet is meant to walk with you forever. But everyone serves a purpose. In your growth, some teach love, some teach loss, some teach strength, and some teach boundaries. Your heart grew wiser because of what it survived. Even though no one applauded your healing, even though no one saw the nights you had to comfort yourself, you are still here. And that itself is proof of unseen support. The world teaches you to measure progress through speed and visibility, but divine progress is measured through endurance and integrity. There is a reason you do not break easily. There is a reason you get back up even when you feel empty. There is a reason your soul seeks meaning beyond money, beyond status, beyond validation. It is because you are here to remind others that life is more than survival. You are here to carry truth through. Example, not through noise soon. Clarity will replace confusion. Direction will replace doubt, and peace will replace the constant need for answers, but only if you trust the process that is shaping you. Not everything requires immediate understanding. Some things require patience and faith. The season you are walking through is building capacity. The next season will require strength. The one after that will demand leadership, and the final one will produce legacy. You are not behind, you are becoming. Remember this message when fear tries to convince you otherwise. You are guided, you are guarded, and you are exactly where you need to be right now, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Understand this truth at the deepest level of your awareness. What you call uncertainty is actually the moment before revelation. Most people quit here. They misinterpret discomfort as failure and silence as rejection, but the divine works in layers, not flashes. When something powerful is being prepared, it is hidden until it is unshakable. This is why your life feels like it is moving internally, while externally nothing changes, because foundations are being reinforced, character is being refined, perception is being expanded, and ego is being dissolved. You are being trained to listen, not react, to observe, not panic, to trust, not control. The reason you feel disconnected from people lately is because alignment always creates distance from what no longer matches your frequency. Growth will isolate you before it introduces you to your real tribe. Not everyone is meant to grow with you, and that is not cruelty, it is reality. You were never meant to carry everyone forward. Some must remain behind to understand their own calling. This season is teaching you discernment, teaching you when to speak and when to remain silent, teaching you that not every battle is yours to fight and not every opinion deserves your energy. You have already outgrown many versions of yourself, and that is why returning to old habits, old places, or old conversations feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is your inner guidance. Activating stay alert moments will come when opportunity appears disguised as interruption, or delay, and when challenge appears disguised as invitation. Do not respond emotionally. Respond intentionally, because what you do next determines the momentum of your future. The divine rarely announces breakthroughs. They arrive quietly and reward those who remain consistent without recognition. You are being positioned not for attention but for influence, not for applause but for impact. The strength you are developing now will be required when others depend on you, when decisions carry weight, and when truth must be spoken without fear. There is a reason your conscience is strong, a reason injustice disturbs you deeply, a reason you cannot ignore what feels wrong. That awareness is part of your assignment. Leadership begins long before authority is given, and responsibility begins long before titles appear. Everything you are enduring now is training for moments you cannot yet see. Do not underestimate the value of inner discipline, the ability to stay calm when misunderstood, to stay focused when distracted, and to stay kind when wronged. These are not small traits. They are rare strengths. The world rewards aggression, but the divine elevates clarity. You are learning that reaction drains power while silence stores it. You are learning that proving yourself is unnecessary when alignment speaks louder than explanation. There will come a time when what confused people about you becomes what they admire, but until then, you must hold steady in your truth without external confirmation. The loneliness you feel is not emptiness, it is separation from noise. Understand that some connections end not because of conflict, but because growth requires space. Separation is sometimes protection in disguise. You are being spared from cycles that would have kept you limited. The version of you that is emerging does not chase validation. It attracts alignment, does not compete. It creates, does not rush. It remains grounded. The coming phase of your journey will demand courage, not the loud kind, but the quiet courage to say no when it is easier to say yes, to walk away, when attachment pulls you back, to remain patient, when opportunity tempts you to compromise your values. Remember this, clarity will come piece by piece, not all at once. Guidance will arrive through intuition, not instruction, and confirmation will appear after action, not before. Trust yourself more. You are not imagining the shifts, you are sensing them, because awareness increases before reality changes. Stay committed to integrity. Even when shortcuts look appealing, stay disciplined when motivation disappears. Stay grounded when praise arrives, and humble when success follows. Every moment you choose alignment, you accelerate your path. Even if it looks slow from the outside, do not announce your evolution, let time reveal it. The most powerful transformations are recognized in retrospect. One day you will look back and realize the confusion was calibration, the waiting was preparation, and the silence was communication. And when that understanding arrives, you will no longer seek answers externally, because you will have become the answer yourself. Realize this at a quieter, deeper level of your being. What feels like disorientation is actually transition taking place before your awareness catches up. Most people fear this phase because familiar reference points disappear. Old motivations stop. Working old desires feel empty, and old explanations sound shallow. But this is exactly how inner recalibration begins, when the outer world no longer distracts you from inner truth. You are not losing direction. You are shedding false ones. The uneasiness you feel is the signal that your internal compass is adjusting. This stage requires honesty with yourself, without drama, without blame, without escape. Because growth that lasts is never built on denial. You are learning to sit with uncertainty without rushing to label it failure. The divine does not rush clarity, because premature clarity creates fragile confidence. Instead, you are being taught stability without certainty, presence without answers, and faith without evidence. This is advanced training. Whether you recognize it or not, your perception has already shifted. You notice patterns before outcomes, you sense intentions before words, and you feel consequences before actions. This awareness was earned through experience, not gifted randomly, which is why it feels heavy to carry. Many people live comfortably unaware, but awareness demands responsibility, and that responsibility is now yours to hold. You are beginning to understand that energy matters more than appearance, that intention outlives emotion, and that consistency outweighs intensity. This is why you no longer chase excitement. You seek sustainability. This is why superficial wins no longer impress you, and temporary pleasure no longer satisfies you. Your system has matured beyond instant gratification because your assignment requires long-range vision. You are being trained to think beyond the current moment, beyond immediate gain, beyond personal comfort. Not everyone can handle this evolution, and that is why your journey feels solitary at times. You are slowly noticing that an internal solidity is forming inside you, a kind of inner structure that does not need to announce itself or seek permission. This strength is calm, not forceful, steady, not confrontational, and it carries certainty without aggression. It is the realization that your worth no longer fluctuates with circumstances or other people's reactions. This is the moment you stop interpreting resistance as punishment and begin seeing it as proof of readiness. You are no longer wishing for life to reduce its challenges. You are preparing yourself to meet them with competence because ability produces confidence in a way comfort never can. And once competence settles into your identity, quiet power begins to emerge from within. The phase you're moving through is reorganizing you from the inside out, aligning what you think, what you choose, and how you act. Earlier, your energy was spread thin across approval, explanation, justification, and emotional overextension. Now it is being pulled inward, focused, refined, and sharpened. Because focus is not intensity. Focus is direction, and direction is the birthplace of meaningful creation. This is why distractions now feel intrusive instead of entertaining. This is why inconsistency exhausts you instead of exciting you. This is why shallow conversations and surface-level goals no longer satisfy you. Your nervous system is tuning itself for responsibility, not reaction. The future you are being prepared for will reward discernment. Rather than impulse and self-regulation, rather than emotional expression, comfort never trains perception precision. That is why tests keep appearing in small moments. Patience, delays, restraint, pauses, silence, because every moment you choose. Regulation over reaction, you step back into ownership of yourself, and self-ownership always precedes leadership. You may sense pressure to respond, clarify, explain, or defend yourself, but withholding reaction is teaching you how to see, instead of just feel how to understand. Instead of entangle purposeful individuals, do not move at the speed of emotion. They move at the speed of intention. This chapter of your life is removing false urgency, teaching you that not everything deserves access to you. Your time, your attention, or your energy selectivity is not coldness, it is alignment. Boundaries are not barriers designed to isolate, they are filters designed to protect clarity. And clarity is becoming non-negotiable. Now, the clearer you become, the less chaos you are willing to tolerate, because chaos fragments focus, and you have already learned the cost of fragmentation. This adjustment will disrupt dynamics with people who benefited from your previous accessibility. It will confuse those who relied on your constant emotional availability, and it may provoke resistance from those who are comfortable with your old patterns. But evolution rarely accommodates everyone, and growth almost always rewrites relationship contracts. Guilt may attempt to call you back to roles you have already outgrown, but regression only feels safe until it begins eroding your self-respect. Discomfort is no longer intimidating you. It is instructing you. Uncertainty is no longer paralyzing you. It is sharpening you. Pressure is no longer exhausting you. It is strengthening you, the guidance shaping you. Now is subtle, understated, not dramatic. It does not demand attention. It requires awareness. And that is why your pace is changing, why you are slowing down enough to hear internal signals you once ignored. You are no longer rushing toward outcomes. You are orienting yourself toward alignment because aligned systems naturally produce results. This is not blind faith. This is discipline, trust reinforced by experience. You have seen what haste destroys and what patience reveals. You now understand that timing is not passive waiting. It is an active force. Arriving too early damages outcomes just as much as arriving too late. Precision requires restraint, and restraint is becoming instinctive. The stage ahead will require decisions without complete information, confidence without validation, and action without reassurance. That is why self-trust is being strengthened. Now, every time you followed intuition despite uncertainty, you reinforce the internal muscle you will depend on later. You are being prepared for responsibility that cannot be outsourced, accountability that cannot be avoided, and decisions that will impact more than just yourself. This is why trivial conflicts are losing relevance. This is why arguments feel empty. This is why external validation no longer satisfies in comparison to internal peace. The recalibration happening within you is creating coherence. Your thoughts, actions, values, and presence are beginning to synchronize, and coherence generates calm. Calm generates authority. Others may not understand why your presence now feels grounded, or why your words carry more weight. But it is the byproduct of unseen work, unseen discipline. Unseen restraint and unseen growth preparation never seeks attention. It reveals itself only when it is stable. You are closer than you think. Not to a conclusion, but to integration, a phase where lessons dissolve into instinct, where wisdom stops. Feeling practiced and becomes natural. Remain steady now. Not loud, not performative, simply consistent. This is the quiet period before momentum, when small aligned actions create irreversible direction. Protect this clarity, respect it, and nurture it. Because clarity is the currency of influence, and influence is the weight you are being prepared to carry forward.